Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the International Day of Calm. I'm your next presenter, CL King. I'm also known as the Impact Motivator, and I am so excited. I'm overwhelmed to be able to participate in the International Day of Calm for the second year in a row. I'm so delighted that God saw fit to align me with a wonderful lady named Celia Kibler, our leader and founder of this wonderful day called the International Day of Calm. And my presentation today is going to be designed for young people. I'm going to narrow it down to folks in the 5th through 12th grade. That's right. We're exactly going to focus on those grade levels and young people. And today, because I know time is of the essence, and this is a multi-day event, and I'm just a small morsel of time here, I want to focus with you on what do you see in the mirror? Yeah, that's a good question. What do you see in the mirrors? Every time, young people, when you go past the mirror, it is always a telling event, is it not? You girls, young ladies, you got to make sure your hair is right, your mascara is good, and so on. And young men, we got to make sure that our hair is feathered just right. Well, in my case, whatever. It is something that is a place of revelation. In other words, it reveals things to us, the mirrors. And every time we go by them, sometimes we would wish the mirrors would say something different than what they're actually saying. But the mirrors doesn't lie. The mirror doesn't tell a tale. It doesn't augment or change who we are. All it does is give a reflection back to who that person is staring at it. And so I want to give you some keys to understanding what you see in the mirrors and how you can relate this to your life, young people. Moms and dads, I want you to take notes. Young people, I want you to take notes because it's going to be quick. It's going to be very, very important, okay? So here's the first thing. I'm going to break it down for you by letters. So it's very simple. Mirrors begins with an M. And if you're going to look in the mirror, the M stands for mindset. Oh my goodness, you're talking about we've got to think a certain way. Your mindset, ladies and gentlemen, young people, your mindset needs to match what you see in the mirror. This mirror is projecting greatness, and you can't have a mindset of, well, I can only be second best, or I can only do third, or I can just be average. Your mindset controls what is reflected in that mirror. And so the M in mirrors is mindset. You got to get your mind thinking right. Listen, when I first became a speaker, nobody wanted to hear me speak, not even my golden retriever dog, who wasn't even born yet. But I just continued to perfect my craft. And then here's what I started thinking. I started thinking that I'm the best speaker in America. That's what I chose to do. That's what I chose to think. I may not be the highest paid, but I believe that I could stand on stage with anybody in the speaking industry. That's a mindset. And so when I look in the mirror, I say in my mind is saying, hey, look, that guy right there, he is one bad hombre. And I want you to understand, young people, that if you have a mindset for greatness, there is nothing that can stop you. It doesn't mean it'll be instantaneous, but it does mean that you can get there with a mindset. There's something powerful about what goes between those two ears of yours. It's a mindset. The M in mirrors is mindset. Now, when we look in the mirror, there are various intentions that we display. If I'm getting ready for prom, I'm looking in the mirror. I want to look my finest for that day, right? I have intentions. I'm intentional. I have a purpose. And I want young people to understand that I speak all over the country and around the world. I just got back from an Ohio tour with my book. And one of the things that sometimes challenges me is that when I shake young people's hand, they're looking down at the ground, they're not talking loud. And I'm like, man, you got to be confident. You've got to be intentional about owning the room. When I walk in the room and they're hiring me to speak, I believe that I'm going to get everyone's attention because I'm intentional about getting that respect. And so when you wake up in the morning, you've got to wake up with some intentions. Don't just wake up saying, well, whatever the day brings me, whatever the mirror brings me, whatever I'm going to do, I guess it'll just happen. I know it feels like that sometimes, y'all. I know 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th graders. I know it feels like that sometimes. It's just like, oh my goodness, let's just try to make it to the next sunset. But the sunrise gives you a brand new set of intentions. And I want you to be intentional. The I in mirrors is intentions. What are your intentions? What are your intentions 5 days from now? Think about that. Have you thought about that? Where do you want to be 5 days from now? See, because sometimes we talk about the future is not promised to any of us. So then let's just go right now. What are your intentions to the next 24 hours? What do you intend to accomplish? What is this person in the mirror? What are their intentions? And if your intentions don't match the person in the mirror, then you'll never be able to accomplish anything by being casual. You have to be intentional. You have to do what you dream to do and do it on purpose. The R, you ready? I'm cooking, man. The R in mirrors. Are you ready for the R? Because every day, maybe a couple times a day, we pass by this shiny glass object that reveals to us who's on the other side of the reflection. And the R, boys and girls, young men and women, the R in mirrors stands for rigor. That's right. It stands for rigor. In other words, you've got to have some rigor. And what does rigor mean? You've got to have some energy. You got to have some effort. You got to have some determination. You got to have some force. Because not everything, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be given to you. I'm a foster kid. I lived in a foster home. I was homeless. I lived in several foster homes, several group homes, was malnutrition, abused, all different types of ways. And so to get anywhere in life, I had to fight. I had to have some rigor. I had to have some intensity. When I became a United States Marine way back 30 years ago, I didn't just get to show up with my nice backpack and peanut butter and jelly sandwich and say, I'm here for the Marine Corps. No, it was rigorous. It was tough. It was hard. It was arduous, y'all. And if you're going to get anywhere in this life, you're going to have to do it with some effort and some energy. It takes rigor just to walk. Did you know that? Because gravity is pulling against you. Every second that you are alive, gravity is saying, I want to win. And it takes rigor for you to say, I'm going to get up out this bed and I'm going to put one foot in front of the other and defy gravity on my journey to where I'm going. Are you hearing me? It takes rigor. When you look in the mirror, as I do often, the mirror says, you won't get it easy. Some people, some things come to them easy. Yeah, man, you might be a math whiz. You know what I mean? You might have beautiful features, but there will be areas in life that will not just open up for you. There'll be areas in life that you'll have to rappel down a cavern. There'll be areas in life that you'll have to climb 29,029 feet to reach the summit of Mount Everest. It won't just happen. You'll have to dig deeper. You'll have to pull something from your internal recesses and say, I've got rigor. I'm not going to give up. And that is the biggest thing I would like for you to take from the R in mirrors. The first R is don't quit. Don't give up. Just because maybe you see other people giving up. I remember when I started my podcast, man, before the pandemic happened. I was starting my podcast back in 2019 and saw a lot of folks jump on the podcast bandwagon around 2020 when everybody had to stay home. And you remember? And now I go back and look at those folks and none of them are doing podcasts. I'm just like, well, what happened? You got disinterested. It became too hard. Was it too time consuming? And here's the deal, man. If you can't do it 100 times before quitting, then don't start. Don't try. It takes rigor. You feel me? It takes effort. It takes energy. The next R in mirrors. You ready for this one? The next R in mirrors is reality. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. This mirror says to me, King, I know you're trying to stay young, but reality says you about 50 years old, cuz. Right? You hear me, young people? The mirror gives us our reality, and we can't fake our reality. So here's what I want you to understand: that you need to embrace your reality. You need to learn to thrive in your reality. I learned that even though I was a foster kid 3 times over, and I spent my last 8, 5, 6, 7 years as a foster kid till I graduated, I realized that was my reality. That's who I was facing in the mirror. And so instead of being so pitiful that, oh man, I'm just this poor black kid from the hood living in foster home, nobody loves me, I made my reality a place that I could thrive. And in high school, I got in musicals. I traveled all over the world. I got to see things. I got to be in things. I was voted the most dressed and most likely to succeed in my senior year. And I was a foster kid. My reality set, you can determine your reality, and you make that person in the mirror respond. Today, I will be successful. That's reality. And you got to be realistic. But don't let someone else, ladies and gentlemen, determine your reality for you. Because no matter what you do, it's going to be you that shows up in this mirror every single day. So M.I.R.R.O. Are you ready for what the O stands for in mirrors? Today I'm teaching about what do you see in the mirrors. And this teaching is for kids in the, 5th through 12th grade. I want moms and dads to hear this. I want their young people to sit down with your kids and listen to this and really take notes and apply it next, okay? So the O in mirrors is opportunity. That's right. Yeah, every time you look in this mirror, are you ready? Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? You see an opportunity. This is what I try to tell young people. Well, I go to school, it's boring. I want to do, and all the complaints. But I'm just telling you, there's a whole myriad of opportunities facing you right here in this thing called the mirror. And oftentimes, what we see ourselves doing is squandering away the opportunity, and that opportunity is you. See, we look for opportunities in programs and places and protocols and different things. But when you walk up in the room, ladies and gentlemen, when you wake up first thing in the morning, you are an opportunity. You got an opportunity to succeed. You got an opportunity to encourage somebody. You got an opportunity to transform the world with your brand new idea or invention. Opportunities are abounding in you. But I want you to understand something. They will not come if you don't capitalize on them, if you don't act on them, if all you do is say, well, I guess it's going to be somebody else. No, you're the opportunity. You're the one that can succeed. Talk to your parents and say, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm an opportunity. I'm an opportunity just waiting to happen. That's the way I feel about myself, y'all. And some people would say, oh, well, that's just arrogant. Why don't you be humble? It's not about being arrogant. It's about being understanding that you represent an opportunity. Every time your eyelids break open, it's an opportunity. And every time you look at this person in the mirror, you're looking at an opportunity. You see it? You see it right there in the mirror. You're looking at an opportunity. But so many times I have dealt with and met with young people who feel like because of their circumstances, they don't have an opportunity. I don't have the same opportunities per se that maybe people across town do. And that's a reality. That's a reality. I understand that. But here's what I want you to know. If you can take it from a guy who was at 11 years old, a homeless kid on the streets, if you could take it from a guy who wasn't raised by his parents, but a couple of years and the rest of the time was institutionalized and in a foster care, if you could take that, you could take this information from me and trust me that when I say you are an opportunity, man, don't allow your proximity or your location or your circumstances or your finances to determine what type of opportunity you're going to be. I would have never known 30 years ago, y'all, that I could be one of the featured speakers at the International Day of Calm. But when I look at this guy in the mirror today, I'm like, I know where I'm supposed to be. I know what I represent is an opportunity to make an impact in other people's lives again. That's why they call me the impact motivator, because every time I step in front of young people or moms and dads or elders and leaders, I just tell them, hey, listen, you've got to understand that no matter the adversity, you still can make it. Are you following what I'm saying? Are you feeling me? Are you getting what I'm putting down? So the O in mirrors is opportunities. Are you ready for the R? Man, I'm getting through this training good. I'm redeeming some time back on the International Day of Calm. The last R, it's not the last letter, but the last R in mirrors is replenishment. The mirror represents replenishment. I failed today, which is something we all will do. I fell short today. I didn't win today. I didn't pull it off today. But when the sun sets and I go to sleep and I wake back up, it's as if there's a whole nother me, right? I got replenished. It's like I'm back. The guy with the same 5 fingers and 5 toes, or 10 fingers and 10 toes, I'm back again. I got replenished. Did you know that every major lake in the world replenishes itself over time? Did you know that? Did you know that every major body of water replenishes itself? So do you know the blood in your body, it replenishes itself? Man, I just want you to understand that replenishment is powerful. That means when you wake up the next day, even no matter how bad your day was the day before, young people, no matter if the girls turned their nose up at you, young lady, and if the guys rejected you, young man, you got replenished. You're back again. The mirrors, what you see is a replenished, brand new, ready for a whole set of 24 hours of opportunities. See, you don't get the mirror that shows somebody else. See who it shows? It shows CL. It's not showing Eric Thomas. It's not showing Zig Ziglar. It's not showing any of those, Tony Robbins. It's not showing any of those people, though those are great men and great speakers, etc. But the mirror doesn't replenish me with somebody who I think is great. The mirror replenishes what it knows is great. You. Every day it comes back, giving you another set of 24 hours to be absolutely great. And the S in mirrors. I've never given this training that fast. I'm just trying to make sure I don't go over on my time. The S in mirrors is for sustainment. A little while ago, I told you not to give up, right? And it doesn't matter how long I stand in front of this mirror. CL King will stand with me. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Listen to me. Sustainment is a part of the mirror. Like, I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. See, it's one thing, and I want you to understand this. I'm going to teach you this little nugget of truth. It's one thing to obtain something. It's another thing to sustain something. See, some of my friends back in the hood, back in the days in Cleveland, Ohio, yeah, they were able to obtain a bunch of money by standing on the corner selling drugs, but they weren't able to sustain that life because they're either dead or in jail. Are you feeling what I'm saying? So when you look at that person in the mirror, you're saying, is this what I want to sustain? Because it ain't changing. It's right there. When I move, it moves. There's no delay. It's real time. The mirror is real time. And I'm asking you, what do you want to sustain? I challenge you. Though next time you look in the mirror, you look at yourself different. Because you're not just an accident. You're not just second best to somebody else who's first. You've got this thing right here, this mind, which can send people to the moon and have people float in outer space in an international space station. This mind is powerful. My intentions, what I set out to do every single day, I'm purposeful, I'm intentional, I'm deliberate. I understand that it's going to take some work. I got to roll up my sleeves. It's going to require some rigor. Right? I do believe that wherever I step into, that is my reality. And if I don't like my reality, I can change my reality. I can change my mindset. I can change. You understand what I'm saying? But I do know that whatever my reality is, when I look in the mirror, I'm seeing an opportunity. And that opportunity is in me. Bet on yourself every single time. And whether you have a bad day, you strike out 10 times at bat, you will be replenished the next time you look into the mirror. You will be renewed, and a new you will be there every single time. And all you need to do with that new you is just sustain it. That's it. Isn't that something that we can really take our lives and look at the way we view ourselves in the mirror and see that the mirror speaks so loudly. They speak so loudly. So listen, y'all, on the International Day of Calm, I wanted to give you something to calm your nerves and let you know that this mirror is not a weapon. It's actually a great tool. I want you to use this tool the next time you see it, boys and girls, in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. You folks out there that are listening to this message, that will listen to it later, you're going to look at yourself and you're going to see yourself different now. The M in mirrors is mindset. It starts with your mindset. And you follow all those letters out. And if you do those letters, you do those words for each letter in the mirror. Start your day out going through each one of them. When you conclude the day, you will have tapped into sustainment. All right. So thank you, Celia. Thank you all the amazing folks that participate in the International Day of Calm. Just go to dayofcalm.org to connect with us and stay connected, because this is a movement where we want to help 1 million parents stop yelling at their kids. I know that's Celia's goal, and I can't wait to continue to help her in this mission. It's a very small portion that I play, but I want my portion to be important. When I look in the mirror, I want to see that opportunity to change lives. God bless you. Take care.